Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are tuning in to the energy of the full moon in Aquarius on Saturday, 9th of August. So take a moment to check in with yourself and your intuition, and then see which pile, which crystal and card you feel most drawn to. We've got pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3. And when you've made your choice, you can use the timestamps in the description box to jump straight ahead to your reading with your messages on this full moon in Aquarius. Hello and welcome pile number 1. If this is your pile, then this is going to be your reading with your messages on this full moon in Aquarius on 9th of August 25. So as your first card, we have resilience. Which makes me think that you are currently carrying a heavy burden. Life might feel a bit heavy right now, and you're required to be resilient. So that's the general theme I'm getting for you on this full moon, that life feels a little bit heavy. What else have we got for pile number 1? On this full moon, we have the venom, the nectar, the destroyer, and the sustainer. Now this is so interesting because they seem like opposites to me. So if I group them like this, so we have the venom, which is poisonous, and the nectar, which is a liquid that is nourishing, and then we have the sustainer and the destroyer. So there are polar opposites. So that makes me think that extremes are very much coming to the forefront for you under this full moon. Maybe you're swinging from one extreme to the other, up and down, light to dark. Yes, so it sounds to me like you're yo-yoing at the moment, which makes life feel hard and which requires you to be strong and resilient. Let's get a few more oracle cards before we consult the tarot. What else does pile number 1 need to know under this full moon? We have fantasy and devotion. Interesting. Fantasy and devotion. The devotion gives me a feeling of devotion to your path, the path that you're on. So while at the moment it might feel like you're not making a lot of progress and maybe you're taking 2 steps forward, 2 steps back with this swinging from extremes, you are invited to stay devoted to your path. And fantasy makes me feel like that you should use your imagination, or that your imagination is something that is very helpful to you right now with regards to your resilience. And in connection with the devotion to the path, I would say that keep visualizing what you're trying to achieve, keep visualizing where you're going, keep visualizing why you're doing what you're doing, to help you to keep going with this difficult energy that's coming in for you at the moment. Let's get some tarot cards and then we come back to a few more oracle cards at the end. What does pile number 1 need to know on this full moon in Aquarius? Whoops, there are lots, so I'm going to go with the smaller pile of the 2 that have just jumped out. We have the 6 of Wands, which is a card of victory. And that tells me, together with the fantasy, it's reassurance from spirit that you will be victorious, you know. It will all end well. It might be difficult now, but keep focusing on the vision that you're moving towards. And we have the wheel, the universe spinning around. You know, life works in cycles, and right now you're in a valley, but you will go up again. And the Queen of Wands, that is an invitation to connect with your inner power, with your inspiration. Certainly goes very well with the energy of devotion. The Queen of Wands is very much a female archetype that is powered from within. You know, her own light is what sustains her own vision. So yeah, I feel like you keep getting this confirmation. Hold the vision, you know, hold the vision and hold the tension that is arising from these extremes you're feeling at the moment. It very much feels like you're being drawn between two extremes, and you're finding that very difficult, as anyone would. But Spirit wants to reassure you, you're on the right path. It will all turn out well. Hang in there. The wheel will turn again in your favor. Let's get a few more oracle cards for pile number 1 on this full moon. This one I feel. Soul retrieval. I feel like you're doing a lot of internal work at the moment with the soul retrieval card. There's some deep inner excavation going on, some deep inner work which takes all your energy and which makes you swing from one extreme to the other. It's a bit of a roller coaster ride you're on at the moment, but I'm hearing the message that this personal development, this growth you're going through is very much part of this path. You know, it's part of where you're heading. You know, it's not just about external achievements. It's about becoming the person who can step into the vision that you're creating and that you're working towards. So trust the process. Let's get one last card for you. Oh, we get 2. Going beyond normal and visions of life beyond death. They're all over the place now. This really just confirms to me that there are big forces at play at the moment on subconscious level. There's something alchemical almost happening within you, you know, like very deep transformative processes on an unconscious level, beyond normal, beyond the ordinary. You might also feel that you have a heightened intuition. You might have really powerful dreams on this full moon as well. And instead of feeling annoyed by all of this, really Spirit wants you to know, you know, this is a very necessary process. This is really important work that you are doing right now. And while this work might feel difficult and like a heavy burden, it is very much part of your path, and it's very much necessary for you to achieve what you're going to achieve. You know, this is not an obstacle or a distraction or something annoying. It's very much part of it. It's very much something that once you're through it, you will be able to see that this is part of the gift, part of what you are trying to achieve. You know, it's not just about achieving external things. It's about becoming the person you need to be to step into that future that you are imagining, not just imagining, but visualizing and manifesting right now. So, you know, hang in there, trust the process, and have faith that this is also going to be a gift and part of what you're wishing for, actually. That's what I've got for you on this full moon. I hope to see you soon. Take care and bye-bye. Hello and welcome, pile number 2. If this is your pile, then this is going to be your reading with your messages on this full moon in Aquarius on Saturday, 9th of August. let's have a look at your first card. We have wisdom. So straight off, it sounds like you will be receiving or developing or creating some wisdom under this full moon. Let's see what else we've got for pile number 2. The One, the Self, and the Lover. Now, I'm not an astrologer, and I said that before. However, I have actually watched a video about the energies around on this full moon by an astrologer, Kai Pacha, if you're interested. It's called Astrology for the Soul. If you look it up on YouTube, you can have a watch yourself. And he very much explained that the energies that are around this weekend are very much about almost like two opposing energies between self and others, self and community, be that a community of two or a community of more. And the one almost belongs in the middle here, I feel, because it's about finding that balance between being fully yourself, an authentic expression of yourself, and at the same time being in connection with others without losing yourself. And the fact that these 3 cards come out for you makes me think that this is particularly relevant, that you're really going to feel these energies under this full moon. And that's the wisdom that you're going to tap into. So I think there will be a lot of reflection and possibly conflict around those themes, you know, of meeting your own needs, being the one for yourself, while also relating with the one in others, you know, the one you want to connect with. So yes, very interesting. I would definitely recommend that you watch that video because I think that will clarify a lot of things for you. Hang on, we're going to have a few more oracle cards and then we go to the tarot. What else does pile number 2 need to know on this full moon in Aquarius? Okay, these 2 we're going with. We have Ghost and Bees. Bees always fit to me is busy and working. And ghost to me always is a psychic element, but I'm hearing right now ghost of the past. So there is something from your past that is coming up for you under this full moon. A ghost from the past. Maybe even an actual person from your past that's making contact with you. The bees, I'm also feeling collecting honey, which means looking for the juicy, sweet stuff. Looking for the joy. There are different images I'm getting than what I'm normally getting for these cards, but I'm trusting what I'm hearing, you know. So there's a ghost from the past that will be present under this full moon, and you're being invited to look for the honey. Let's get the tarot cards. What else does pile number 2 need to know on this full moon in Aquarius? Let's go with these. We have the Devil. The Devil makes me think about this ghost from the past. It might be an ex or something like that turning up. It's certainly something that holds a certain power over you and not in a positive way. Maybe something that you haven't broken free from. It's a burden from the past that is keeping you chained and imprisoned. And I think on this full moon, it's time to free yourself from that. The Eight of Swords. See, she's imprisoned. You're definitely having to deal with some old stuff coming up that is negatively impacting on your current life experience, that is keeping you trapped. And this full moon is the perfect opportunity for you to free yourself. And it's definitely something to do with relationships and past relationships. This is all about you, your values, your needs, and you in relationship. And there's some old relationship stuff that is surfacing for you right now, some ghosts from the past. And with the wisdom card, is this full moon is giving you the perfect opportunity to resolve this once and for all, to cut those ties energetically and emotionally. There we go, the 10 of Pentacles. And when you do, you will be able to experience life in a joyful, abundant way. This is one of the best cards in the tarot. So don't let this opportunity pass you by, because life will feel completely different once you have had this breakthrough, this realization, this wisdom that will free you from this ghost of the past. Oops, and then we also have the Page of Cups. And the page is always a symbol of new beginnings, of youthful sense of adventure. And the Page of Cups is obviously related to emotions with the cups. And it's almost like he's taking off there. So again, I feel like the realization that you can have under this full moon, if you manage to work through this old baggage from old relationships and free yourself, will really free you up emotionally to finally be able to live your best life. So a huge opportunity for you, and not necessarily easy. I think it will involve a lot of work. That's the work element of the beast coming back in here. Yes, try and have some time really to reflect on these things. Maybe do some journaling. It's a huge opportunity for something that's been standing in your way for a long, long time. The fact that this comes out twice, you know, it's really kept you trapped for a long time. And this full moon is giving you the opportunity to free yourself. What else have we got? Some last messages for pile number 2 on this full moon. What else do they need to know? Okay, I'm going with this card. Hang on a minute, I'm just gonna have to pause the recording for 1 second. Sorry, I just had to let my cat out. She would have started to create havoc otherwise. So we have the Hunter. I feel like the first thing I'm getting is that you have been hunting after something for a long time. And I don't think that you're going to catch it, so to speak, but you're going to give up the hunt, because you're going to realize that it's not something you need to hunt for. It's something that is your divine right. It's something that should be given to you freely. And if someone is not willing to give it to you freely, then you're not willing to beg them for it. Let's see what else we have. One last message for you. The word wants to be written. This realization wants to happen. This wisdom wants to emerge. I feel like all the stars are aligned for you to finally close that chapter from the past, to finally free yourself from this this ghost from the past, this thing that you've been hunting for and that made you feel miserable and in the position of a beggar. You know, it's time to free yourself. You know, everything's aligned for you to do it. It's up to you to take the opportunity to be brave enough to do the work, to free yourself so you can finally have the life you're meant to live. That's what I'm getting for you for this full moon. I wish you lots of love and lots of strength. You've got this. And I hope to see you soon. Bye bye. Hello and welcome, pile number 3. If this is your pile, then this is going to be your reading with your messages on this full moon in Aquarius on Saturday, 9th of August. Let's have a look at your first card. We have nourishment. Okay, so an invitation to care for yourself, to look after yourself, to feed yourself good foods, to meet your needs. And also possibly an indication that you will experience this full moon as nourishing. So let's see what else we've got for you. Pile number 3. What else do you need to know on this full moon? Whoops. Oh, there's so many. I'm going with the ones that fell onto the original card that jumped out. Let's start with the first one. The fault line. Okay, so a fault line is a crack that can turn into a bigger crack with an earthquake. We also have the warrior. We have apocalypsis, which means the truth. And we have the river. The river I see is connected to the fault line because I feel like the fault line is turning into a river, which is nourishing. So somewhere in your life there are some cracks. And it's got something to do with the truth. Maybe with a truth that's emerging. And it's requiring you to channel some warrior energy. But the message from Spirit is that do not worry. This fault line will turn into a river. And you can see the water here pouring from the moon. And ultimately be nourishing. So it sounds to me like there's a point of transformation under this full moon for you, where something that has been negative is turning into a positive. Something that felt like dangerous or hard work, requiring you to feel like a warrior, will become a source of nourishment. Let's see what else we're getting. Pile number 3. What else do they need to know on this full moon in Aquarius? We have the chicken and family. The chicken. For me, the chicken, what I think of is don't be a chicken. Like don't be scared. And family. Well, family is family. So there is an element of family involved here. But we shall see if we get more clarification from the tarot cards. Let's see. What else does pile number 3 need to know on this full moon? We have the 5 of Swords. Definitely something that's been worrying you, that's been weighing heavy on you, that might have triggered a lot of fears in you. There's the Queen of Swords, very much this warrior energy. I think you're ready for a fight. But we also have the 4 of Cups, which means you're still very much indecisive. I think you know that what's being offered to you is not what you want. But you're also scared to choose something else. And it's got something to do with your family, your close family. Could be your immediate family, like your relationship, or it could be within your wider family. you need to fight for yourself. You need to stand up for yourself. You need to stop being a chicken. You need to stop being scared. It's time for you to stand up for yourself. It's time for you to be the nourishment you seek, then waiting for it. It's interesting here, you see, there is this spilled cup. You know, this is an interesting symbology for me. And it also, there's some black stuff coming out of there. It's the same thing. What you're being offered is not nice. Whatever they're offering you is not what you want, is not what you deserve, is not good enough, and it's time for you to say so, I think. That's the energy I'm getting for you. Let's see what other oracle cards we are getting for you. Pile number 3. There are 2. We have the owl, the wise owl. I'm hearing you already know. You already know. You know what to do. You know what the answer is. You're just scared. And we also have the mystical shaman. And for me, that belongs here, between these two warriors, because of the transformative quality here. When you choose to stand up for yourself and say, this, what you're offering me, is not good enough, you will transform your experience. Because the simple act of standing up for yourself, of saying this isn't good enough, will have a healing effect on you. It will provide nourishment to your soul. Because you're choosing yourself, you know, and that in itself has a healing effect. It's one thing to feel like, you know, abandoned or rejected by other people, but when we abandon or reject ourselves by not standing up for ourselves, that also has a profound effect on us, and we mustn't underestimate that. So, yeah. It doesn't really matter how they react or what they do. The fact that you stand up for what you know is right, what you deserve, what you want, will have a healing effect in itself. What they do isn't actually that relevant. Let's get one last message for you. The perfection of your life. I love that this card came out last, because it's a direct message to your fear. And it's saying, you know, the outcome will be good. The perfection of your life. Your life will get better by you standing up for yourself and making that choice. So please don't be scared. This is going to improve your life. That's all I have for you on this full moon. I think it's a tricky one from all the readings I've done so far, but also a healing one. There's great opportunity here. So I'm sending you lots of love, lots of strength and courage, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.